Hi, my name is Zachary Angelat, and I wanted to go over the gist of templates and sort of how to use them more. Um, One of the things that you can do in templates, last time I had kind of shown that you can sort of just use header and footer, but you can also use if-else statements or send data through. In order to do this, you have to set up the server and the handler. And within that function, you can set up some data of any sort. But when you go to pass it, you're only going to pass the one object or struct. And so this data is going to be that data. And so I just have it set up for, let's say, could be a title, things, anything you want, and then sort of a slice of multiple pieces of data, kind of like an array. And in order to show this data, you do have to pick out the parts that are correct, and it will tell you if you did something wrong. One of the first things I did was just to show thing, and that was this part. Because we're passing the data along, we don't necessarily have to reference list data. We can just show thing, and that will show it. And so when you go to run it, it'll show things, and you can change this to whatever you want. And it'll update it. And then from there, I wanted to range through something, those slice of pieces of data. But you do have to have an end statement when you do range. And you can't just do range on the slice. You would have to do it on the property of list data. Because really, you're passing in data, but it's really being initialized from list data, so it's practically the same thing. So you'd have to do the property that you're going to show, not necessarily the slice of it. So in order to do that, you would just do range dot, and you always use dot in order to show the data in the templates. And it would just be list, and that would show first, second, third, which is first, second, third. Because range by itself, you were just to do this, won't actually show anything. All you're telling it to do is to range through something. It's not until you actually show the data that it will actually show anything. And you don't have to do if, but I put this here just as sort of a statement thing. So if this is true, then show title. If it's false, show title, because inside the data we do have a false and true statement. And you could do something logical here as well, and to try and split it up or show different header footers, all sorts of stuff. And then we have the end statement again for the range, and end statement for the if, just in case you get confused by that. And so you could probably think of a way to show maybe a different kind of header, or something that would be something visual, or some kind of calculation. You can pretty much do anything in there, and it'll end up showing it. It's just you have to make sure you get your data structure names right. And that's basically how you would do more with templating. With here, you can send data through the server, but it tends to be something you don't want to do, because then it's every request that you need to add data to, whereas this one is just merely this handler. And you can start to do things like, keep track of data, the context, whatever it is that you're doing, or even a form. So I just wanted to show that, just so that you don't get too confused when doing them. Another thing I wanted to show, which I don't think I actually did entirely show, because of that file server, you can, where is that? You can actually connect other kind of frameworks or files, like jQuery, whatever it is, and you can put that in here, and as long as you have this file server, it'll show up in there. Actually, you could probably download these files, then put them inside your folder structure, and then just make sure that you're serving that folder, so that you don't have to do URL links. You could do local. But I just wanted to show a little bit more with templating, just in case you wanted to know more or do more with it. Yeah, thank you, and if you have any questions, please let me know.